On Monday, Dr. Anthony Fauci will publicly testify in front of the US House Select Subcommittee on the coronavirus pandemic. His conduct and also decision-making during the pandemic will, of course, be questioned. Joining us to break down everything we can expect during that congressional hearing and what we know and don't know about Dr. Fauci is Adam Andrzejewski, of course, CEO and founder of OpenTheBooks.com. Good morning, Adam.
Morning, Angela.
Yeah, I want to start with this. Now, Adam, you were the journalist that discovered that Fauci was the #1 most highly compensated federal employee, even out earning the president. Let's kind of revisit that issue, how much Fauci made, and what does this all mean?
So Fauci last year in federal service made $480,000. He out earned the president of the United States, who makes $400,000, and every single bureaucrat within federal service. That much we know. Angela, here's what we don't know. We don't know what his retirement annuity pension payout is. We have to estimate it because under the federal rules, it's not disclosed. So we estimate that it's the largest pension in federal history, that in his first year, Fauci made $375,000 in retirement. Here's something we also don't know. Fauci qualified for a second federal pension for 27 years as an officer within the Public Health Commission Corps. We don't know what that pension is. And furthermore, the details around Fauci's retirement continue to be a black box. News reports say he retired at the end of the year 2022, but that's false. We have emails showing that he worked into January, probably the second week of January of 2023, but NIH refuses to produce his severance paperwork. They refuse to tell us when he actually retired. We think he did that to further spike his lifetime pension.
What about the security detail? Is that still getting paid for? Where does that stand?
So here's what we know. We know that the United States Marshal Service provides security detail and a substantial and robust detail with limousines for Fauci in retirement. Here's what we don't know. We don't know, and the U.S. Marshals will not respond to our Freedom of Information Act request, and neither will Fauci's former employer, the National Institutes of Health. They refuse to produce their memo of understanding that provided the security detail to Anthony Fauci. We also don't know the costs.
What about, over the years, NIH leadership and scientists receive, large third-party royalty payments. Did Fauci get in on this?
Well, we wrote this story. During the pandemic, I think the American people felt that Big Pharma was very close to big government. We identified this database, the pharmaceutical industry licensing NIH technologies and paying royalties. And Fauci, here's what we know on Fauci's royalties. He did receive them. What we don't know is the amounts. He says they're small. We do know that he received a big $1 million prize from a foreign nonprofit just as soon as Biden took office for speaking truth to power and for defending science during the Trump years. We also know that Fauci, even though he may have not taken large third-party royalties from pharmaceutical companies, he crafted and presided over a system where 2,400 scientists in a 12-year period took over $325 million worth of those royalties.
And very quickly, now you've been critical of Dr. Anthony Fauci, but also his wife, Christine Grady. Why?
Well, here's what we know, that the two Faucis on U.S. public health care, if you wanted to know what was going on during the pandemic, it was literally meet the Faucis. So Christine Grady, she's the chief bioethicist at Fauci's former employer, NIH, and Fauci called her his consultant, whether it was on lockdowns, mask mandates, vaccine mandates, or patients dying in isolation. She influenced his policy. Here's what we don't know. We don't know why federal ethics policies weren't enforced for the Faucis. When we requested both of their ethical disclosures, we did not find a nepotism waiver in either of their files or a conflict of interest waiver. So we just don't know why these rules were waived for the two Faucis.
CEO and founder of OpenTheBooks.com, Adam Andrzejewski, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.